What's up, guys? Today I want to talk to you about a topic that a lot of you are not aware of yet. Some transmission changes are coming to the Jeep lineup that have already made their way into the Dodge Charger, and they're coming to the 2026 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. We're going to talk about why is this important. The timing of this is interesting because of what's taking place right now with General Motors and Allison transmissions. Let's get into this. Okay, so why is this interesting? Well, right now, General Motors and Allison are going through a breakup. They've been a long-term, running supplier relationship with General Motors on their heavy duty behind their Duramax transmission. It started with a 5-speed trans and a 6-speed, and then we thought it was the 10-speed trans. Well, as of June of next year, the 10-speed logo that says Allison on the GM HD trucks will no longer say Allison transmissions. Why is this important for you Ram owners? Here's what's taking place right now, guys, on the Dodge Charger behind the Hurricane engine. For 2026, if you decide you want to buy a new Charger Scat Pack with the Hurricane engine, great vehicle. If you're wanting to buy one, it no longer comes with the 8 HP 75 transmission behind the Hemi. Obviously, Hemi's gone, but it now has the 880 RE. And there's some differences I'm noticing, and we got to ask ourselves, why are they going to this transmission? Well, a few reasons I'm being told. Number one is the implementation of putting a PHEV or a hybrid electric stator motor inside of this transmission is easier on an 880 RE because the architecture was designed around it. But what's interesting is I'm specifically looking today at the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. The Grand Wagoneer in 2025 had the, I'll show you right here. It called it here's the 2026. For 2026, the new transmission in the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, it just says an 8-speed transmission or the Torque Flight. If we go over to the 2025, it specifically calls out behind the Grand Wagoneer, the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, an 8 HP transmission with ERS. That was the Torque Flight transmission. They didn't show a picture of the transmission, but if we Google search this, we can find a lot of images. And I was looking over on the Ram Truck Builder at the different transmission options. So this collaboration between ZF, which is a German parts manufacturer that Stellantis and several others in the industry use. They make transmissions, and they make really good transmissions. I mean, this transmission, the 8 HP transmissions that have been in the Ram 1500s, the Jeeps, the Hellcats, they're almost bulletproof. You don't hear people having problems with them. Ram has been using their RE style transmission, which I'm told has ZF design cues, but is manufactured by Stellantis. So this is the RE transmission, 850 RE, that is paired today behind the 3.6 liter Pentastar, and the 8 HP 75 is what's behind the Hemi and behind the Hurricane engine. In these photos, when you look at these, they don't look any different, right? The engine cases, I believe when looking at these look like stock photos. I don't see any difference really in these two transmission photos. What's interesting is I went over to Pure Drive Solutions. If you guys have not heard of this company, a little shout out to them. These guys build ZF transmissions to hold serious power. I mean, you can get a 8 HP 90, 95, and 70 series, which is behind the 70 series, behind the 5.7 and 6.4 and the Hurricane engines, over 1,600 horsepower for about $6,000 upgrade. When we go and look at the design specifications of the 880 RE, this is a Stellantis ZF Gen 4 based 8-speed transmission. They're going to call it the Torque Flight style because it's based on the latest ZF 8 HP 4th Gen technology. The builder is Stellantis, licensed ZF design. This is according to ChatGPT. It's not always accurate. I've been trying to get more and more information out about this. No one has great information yet. It's coming, but I think it's important for us to understand how reliable is this transmission going to be, because that's what we really want to understand. Are there any pitfalls? When we look on the surface, the old transmission was an 8 HP 75. Typically, the last numbers was a signification of the strength or holding power of the transmission. So when you go from a 75 to an 80, you'd think it's a stronger transmission, which it might be. The torque capacity of the 880 RE, they're saying is 815 Newton meters or 600 pound-feet of torque, which is more than the high output Hurricane. What's interesting is the hybrid capability, and I think this compatibility of the hybrid transmission is the reason they're going to this, so that if they want to put an electric motor assist, kind of like what Ford does with the Power Boost, and I think General Motors might be doing some similar things coming here soon. For me, though, the ZF 8HP75 transmission has had such a good track record for reliability, durability, performance. I think it's best in class right now in the half-ton truck segment and full-size SUVs. When we look at some of these specifications, there are some differences, and this is what I think we need to focus on today. The origin, the 880RE is a Stellantis-built, licensed ZF Gen 4 basis transmission, whereas the ZF 8HP75 is a ZF Germany built transmission. You can see the torque ratings. It looks like the 880RE at a glance has got some higher holding performance. My guess is the gear ratios are not going to change at all. It wouldn't really make much reason to change any of that. ZF has been putting these transmissions obviously across the full Stellantis lineup, as well as BMW and some Audis, and it's been working really well for them. What's interesting is the torque capacity. The 8HP75 spec sheet leans slightly higher for max torque than the 880RE, mostly quoted 600 pound-foot of torque range. That's what's concerning for me, because are we going to see less reliability? Nobody wants to give up on this, and especially the fact when we've seen what's happened recently with the GM and Allison breakup. This was a licensed transmission from General Motors. Are we going to see a licensed ZF 880RE transmission with Stellantis? Is it going to be reliable? The last thing we want to see is valve body issues or failing CDF drums and all these issues we've been seeing with some of these other 10 speeds. I'm hoping this doesn't leak into the Stellantis 8-speed transmission. There's some other things I think that's interesting when we look at this 880RE transmission. First thing you notice is this new oil pan, potentially new composite oil pan, plastic pan for the transmission. They've been running a composite construction in the 8HP75 underneath, and this doesn't show. Let me see if I can find a picture to show you guys. They've been running a composite pan. You can kind of see in this photo right here underneath the 8HP70. I don't think that's a big deal as long as it doesn't leak. I don't think plastic or steel on a transmission pan has shown much of a difference there. And in full fairness, where we live, I'd almost prefer plastic, because I remember as a kid growing up, steel oil pans and engines and transmissions rotting out from rust. Well, plastic doesn't rust, so that's one reason I would say a benefit to the plastic. But I did notice something in this image here that's kind of interesting. Look at this casing construction and these structural webs here. We're going to kind of look at this, but look at this area right here specifically. Do you see kind of like this cutout right here? Now, when we go over and look at the Ram transmission, this is the exact same transmission that was behind the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Do you see a transmission pan that kind of cuts in? I don't see anything like that. Plus, the webbing on the transmission looks a little different. Here's a 70 series transmission. This is the casing. Now we go back to this. This looks a lot different. So is this a stronger casing with these new ribs? Or, I'm going to play a little devil's advocate, did they reduce the weight of the casing and instead they use more structural reinforcement to give it the strength in these specific areas, but overall it's a lighter weight casing? So will we lose strength? I hope not. Now, ZF and Stellantis have been working together for a long time. The new 8-speed torque flight that is behind the Cummins engine, ZF transmission, and it's a great transmission. ZF has been around a long time. They own a lot of companies. They make brake systems. They make a lot of components, steering. Transmissions is just one of the areas they work in. But in the area we are today in automotive, there's such a strong focus for cost cutting. And I'm hoping we're not going to see a difference, because when I start looking at this stuff, when I compare the 8HP next to the 880RE, I'm seeing some different materials. I'm seeing a case design difference. I'm seeing a hybrid integration that's different. Are we going to see any reduction in performance, fuel economy, reliability? And for you guys that are into tuning, will you still be able to go build one of these new Stellantis 880RE transmissions for these sorts of numbers? Because if you're into performance, man, if you're going to be getting one of these Dodge Scat Packs and you want to build this thing up, is this 880 RE going to be able to take the numbers like this thing? And this is, by the way, this is the transmission that was behind the old Hemi, the 5764 7075 series. You could build these things. They're really, really solid. I'd be curious what you guys know. Leave your comments down below. Am I overthinking this? Or are we going to start seeing the same sort of situation we saw with General Motors and Allison with the breakup? I'm hoping I'm overthinking this, but I think we need to think, is the future of Stellantis transmissions no longer the awesome ZF transmission that we've known since 2011, 2012 across the Charger, Challenger, and all the different engines on the Ram pickup trucks other than the Pentastar? Curious, leave your comments down below. Let me know your guys' thoughts. 880 RE versus 8HP 75. Is this going to be an upgrade, a downgrade, or indifferent? Thanks for watching.